Hey everyone, Phil Strader here at SAUER, and this is part 3 of the Inside the P320 series. If you haven't seen part 1 and 2, make sure to click the link on the description below, find those videos, because it will certainly help you understand the parts that we're going to be talking about today, how they work with each other, and it's a great video to watch, and also function testing. So this is going to be a video on parts wear, what is normal, what you can look for, what you can expect from parts wear compared to brand new parts that have never been put in a gun before. These are right off the assembly line versus parts that have what you would call, I guess, an extreme example of normal wear. Now this gun functions. It's part of our rental fleet at the SAUER Academy, and so we use this gun all the time. It gets a lot of round shot on it, so I'm probably getting ready to get kind of dirty because I don't think it's been cleaned. But we're going to take this gun apart completely. We're going to tear it down. We're going to pull these components, these 4 parts, which is the disconnector, the sear, the striker, and the striker safety lock. We're going to compare the wear versus new parts so you can see what you can expect, what's normal, and talk a little bit about what you should do when you're using your gun a lot, how often you should go see your armorer, and to basically get a better idea as to what you can expect. So let's go ahead and start taking this gun apart. And I am a P320 certified armorer, by the way. Do not take your guns apart past what the owner's manual mandates unless you are a certified SIG armorer. That's very important. So let's get started. Okay, so that's done. The gun's a little dirty. It's been shot quite a bit. So I've came prepared. I'm going to clean some of these off so you can see the difference between a high use, high wear part. Now, with that said, this is, as I mentioned before, you'll probably hear this word a lot. This is normal wear. This is in no way, with an exception of maybe one part, and I'll talk about that in a second, that I would replace any of these parts. They all look perfectly fine, nothing out of the ordinary. And we're going to take a look at these here. What I'll do is I'll compare a brand new part next to the part with the high round count on them. Again, allegedly 75,000 rounds. Again, I can't say, I mean, I can only take for granted they keep a pretty solid round count of every gun that we shoot there. So first one is the sear, okay? So when you look at the sear, it'll probably be on your right, my left. You'll see the sear with obvious wear on it. And you'll see kind of a line on the left side, maybe your right side, that's created by the leg hanging down on the bottom of the striker here. So that leg is pulling across the back platform of the sear, and that sear is got 2 springs in it. It's actually slightly pushing it up and giving it good engagement on that primary notch. So you'll see a line on the left side created by that leg on the sear. The line is slightly off center, obviously, because the striker safety lock is off to the side right next to the striker. So although the striker assembly is centered in the slide and centered over the sear, it will be a little off to the left. So totally normal. You also notice there'll be a line going up to the primary notch. You might even see a line over the top of the primary sear. An armorer would check the primary notch and secondary notch for any odd wear, chips, that kind of thing. I have personally never seen that. My pistol, my competition pistol, has a lot of rounds on it, but I've never seen that. But that's what an armorer would typically check for. Speaking of which, the armorer's manual calls for you to suggest that you have your gun checked out every 3 years or 5,000 rounds for parts wear. And of course, there is a small parts replacement schedule that your armorer will be aware of. So make sure to do that per the armorer's manual to have your armor manual checked out. So that covers your sear. Again, the sear's got a lot of rounds on it. This is the used striker. It actually doesn't look that bad. And I'll put it over here next to the new striker, okay? Now, one thing to keep in mind is the striker. If your armor has to replace a striker or a striker safety lock or a striker safety lock spring, they will be able to typically get the striker assembly as one part. But I've taken the whole unit apart just for the purposes of this video. So again, on your left side, my right side, you'll see the new sear and the old sear, what an armor would be checking for. Here is obviously wear on the striker leg, which I have never seen a striker leg demonstrate any odd wear. This is a perfect example, but there also will be checking the striker tip to make sure the tip's not chipped, broken, anything like that. But you can see the differences between the new part and the very used part. Also, this is a very integral part. And the reason I show these is because these parts are basically ones that metal is moving back and forth on. Obviously, the striker is moving back and forth on the top of the sear. And this part, the striker safety lock, is actually being pushed up every time. And remember, as I mentioned, if you haven't seen part 1 and 2 of Inside of 320, watch them, because these parts will make a lot more sense if you watch them in the animated part of Inside of 320. But this part, as you pull the trigger, that part moves up and it rotates this up and out of the way. So the striker safety lock, this little piece here, is always being made in contact with the striker safety lock. So those two pieces of metal wear on each other on the bottom, and that's usually where you will check for wear. Now this is the old one. I'm sorry, check that. This is the new one. I'll put that here, and I'll put the old one over here next to it. And you'll notice the wear is very, very, very little, if at all noticeable. So we'll take a B-roll shot of this with the close-up camera, and the new part is on your left, and the used part is on your right. And good luck trying to find a difference there. It's very minimal. Again, this part is it's made to be in contact with the captive safety lever up and down every time the gun fires. But that's where an armor obviously an armor would be looking for wear on that part, excessive wear. But more importantly, they would be just making sure that that part is properly installed in the striker assembly and it's under spring tension and everything works. And again, there's a function test video. Part 2 is a function test video. So they would be checking to make sure it's functioning correctly. The last part that gets a lot of back and forth wear is the disconnector. Now, this part is actually installed on your frame here. I did not take it out because I just didn't want to take the sear housing out. It's just a lot, so I just didn't do it. But this is the new part, brand new, never been installed. And this is the used part. Now, this part, as I mentioned, it slides back and forth. This thing actually sits inside a pocket in the slide. We'll see if we can catch it on B-roll here. It's on that side, and it sits in this little pocket groove right there. And it sits there when the gun's at rest. But when the gun is fired, obviously the slide moves back and forth, pushes this disconnector down, and it rubs the top of the disconnector rubs the bottom of the slide. This is one part you probably will see a tiny bit of wear, and you'll see that in the form of a very slight wear mark on the top of the disconnector. And we will try to show you the new one. We'll probably prop this up, the new one, and you'll see the old one is installed in the frame, and you might be able to see a little bit of wear on the top where that slide goes back and forth. So just like any metal and metal part, obviously oil is an important part of maintaining your gun, making sure that the part wear is not excessive. And of course, again, maintaining your parts replacement schedule, visiting an armor every 5,000 rounds or so. And that is crucial to ensuring that your part wear looks normal. Again, this gun's been shot a lot of rounds. They said 75,000, and I can guarantee that we take care of the guns there because we have to use them all the time, either in class rental or range rental. So they're always being oiled, they're always being maintained and checked, and that's the result of it. Parts that don't look like they've completely been worn out and they look great, and that is what would be considered normal wear. Now, if you have an opportunity to go see your armor or go visit an armor, a 320 armor, and or you suspect your wear is not normal, make sure to go to an armor and check it out, or contact our customer service representatives if your gun is not functioning correctly per part 2 of the Inside the P320 series. So we hope this kind of helps you out, gives you some visibility of what normal wear looks like, and we hope this helps. So thanks a lot for watching.